Welcome to Scorched and a general reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant for the month of June. I hope you are well. I'm using the Lost Forest deck for you today. If the reading resonates and you would like to investigate that a little bit deeper, there will be an extended at the end. The link is down in the description box for that. Obviously, if you support me on Patreon, then you get access to all of the extended content for no extra cost. So, Sagittarius, see what's going on with you. Can I have 3 cards for Sagittarius, please? Oh, there's the first one. We've got the 9 of Pentacles in your recent past. Current energy for Sagittarius. We've got the 8 of Cups in your current energy. And it's coming towards Sagittarius, please. Fuck me. Right. What we got here? We've got the Knight of Cups. Sorry, show you that there. We've got the Star at the bottom of the deck, and that is beautiful. We've got the 2 of Cups sitting beyond that, and the 10 of Cups. This is a really beautiful energy, actually. And for me, Sag, it feels like you're getting closer to what you actually want, and you realise that, wow, than you perhaps ever been before. I'm going to get some clarifiers and have a look at here. But there's this, there's somewhat of a self-possessed kind of energy about you. I mean, there always is, but sometimes it's been because you've been fleeing something, right? And it's been about self-preservation more than anything else. There's something really opening up here. There's something really blooming within you. And the Star is a beautiful, representation of that, because for me it speaks about connection, and that's something that that at times you've had trouble with. The fact that we've got the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups appearing there behind it, it speaks to the kind of evolved self-possession that you now hold. So your intimate relationships are benefiting from this greatly, but your extended relationships are also, there's a sense of you being part of a community, but being a really important part of your tribe, and finally seeing that for the truth that it is. Let me see what this is saying here. It's got this 9 of Pentacles is clarified by the Ace of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. Tell me about the 8 of Cups, please. Thank you. We have the 5 of Cups. Wonderful. Fucking hell. What do we have here? Ooh. Now this is really interesting. I do believe that Scorpio had this exact combination of cards in this exact way too. We've got the Emperor in reverse, and we've got the 10 of Wands. And they definitely did have that. Let's get the deck the right way around. Tell me about the Knight of Cups, please. Ooh, 2 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. This is outstanding. So, show you those 2 there. There they are. At the bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Wands. That's strictly Aries energy, but well could be you at this moment in time, Sagittarius. Certainly a move up from the Knight, which is, what the standard Sagittarian correlation is. Because we're speaking about the internal experience here for you, Sag. Now, often, as a way of kind of avoiding what is going on inside of you, you might have been quite extroverted at times, or you might have been involved in somewhat extroverted activities. That whole sex, drug, and rock and roll thing that Sagittarians have going on. It's a trope, but it's it's one that sticks for a reason. That external hedonism being something that you can involve yourself in, that stops you looking at what's going on inside here. I don't feel like that's the kind of Sagittarius you are anymore. Older, wiser for certain. But someone who is much more prepared to get their power from within. Now, in your recent past, you've got the 9 of Pentacles, and I like this for you because it's feeling like that self-possessed energy that I was just talking about there. For me, it's a card of good resource management. And for some of you, what you might have noticed is that your Pentacles have been spread out all over for such a long time that you kind of forgot how many you had. Right? This 9 of Pentacles is an act of drawing them back to you. We're sitting them down and counting them and going, well, shit, I have 9 pentacles and I had no idea. You know, perhaps I have a little bit more energy than I thought I did. If I am concentrating on the right things, and it seems to me like you've got your priorities straight now in a way that possibly you've been trying to work out for quite a long time, but here it is. It's actually happened now. And we've got the Ace of Wands and we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is sometimes the happy home, right? But it also is a card of business. It's a card of security. It's a card of stability. Things that might have, you know, at points. And certainly in the last 2 years, actually, as you were kind of pulling away from where you were feeling trapped, the notions of stability and security might have been like slightly triggering for you, actually, because of what the previous associations with those were in your head. Except that now it feels to me like you are much more motivated to bring those things about. So whether it is improvements in your financial affairs, that's possible. Whether it is kind of material security and stability, that's possible. It could be about feeling reinvigorated to do, you know, in your business, that is possible. But it could be something altogether broader, just like the broad spectrum of your life is now not about running away from things. Now it's about meeting them head on and expanding the things that feel really good to you. Right? That is an intrinsic Sagittarian thing. It's always going to be about expansion, and it should always be about the things that feel good to you. I feel like you've come to this point of realization that not only are you actually quite a bit more powerful than you thought you were, but that the things that are important to you are actually really close to you, and you have the ability, the power to be able to expand those so that not just you enjoy them, but other people get the benefit of it too. You know, whether it is your business or whether it is your family or whether it is all sectors of your life currently, you've got a lot to invest and many avenues to invest it down without actually taking anything away from you, more importantly, you know. So when we move into your current energy, we've got the Eight of Cups, and that actually feels like it's kind of happened holistically at the point where you've realised that you have power, that you have things that you can invest, that you've got plenty for yourself and you've got loads left over and you can give it to the right place. And I think that your ability to be able to discern what is the right place now is very much improved as opposed to where it was a few years ago, because this Eight of Cups is about leaving behind emotions that no longer serve you. It's not necessarily about taking any kind of direction, any kind of movement in any kind of direction externally. It's not like leaving relationships or leaving work or leaving X, Y, and Z. It's about the emotions, because I should explain this properly. Right. There are many situations that we find ourselves in at various points in our life where we realise that those are not good for us. And we go, fuck this, we're off, right? And we do the thing, right? Leos are particularly renowned for this as well. When they get to the point where they're like, fuck this, I'm off, that's it, they're done. But what we don't expect is that all of the emotions right the way around that situation come with us, right? We expect relief, we expect the ability to be able to put things down, but actually quite often what we do is internalise stuff that came up there, you know, and we feel bad about things and we kick ourselves, and, you know, we end up getting into quite a negative mindset, particularly towards ourselves, but eventually it kind of spills out to other people too. So the Eight of Cups is quite a nuanced position of putting down emotions that are associated with old situations that you don't need anymore. Like I said, I feel like it's flowed really quite holistically from the realization of whatever it is that's led to you feeling very self-assured, very self-possessed. Because underneath here we have a sense of grief and loss, and I think that most Sagittarians have something in them somewhere that has always felt really quite uncomfortable, and without realizing it they've done quite a good job of trying to sort of skitter away from that, you know. But we also have the Emperor in reverse, and we had the Ten of Wands, and I will say exactly to you as I said to Scorpio, which is this is an attempt to control your environment. Perhaps it is an attempt to be so uncontrolled, right, at the other end of the spectrum, that you know, everything is pushed to extremes. Everything's been in the lap of the gods. It's just like, I'm gonna roll the dice every single time, you know. It might have felt like it was quite courageous and whatnot for you at one point, but actually all it was really doing was it was an expression of your lack of engagement with what was really important for you. Not your fault, but the way that you had been shown to do things. And you've known forever, Sagittarius, that it was not right. There was something wrong. It wasn't good for you. And we've got this card of burden here, right? We've got things being really fucking hard. So whichever way it is, whether it's controlling your environment or actually actively placing yourself in situations where control was impossible, like really throwing yourself at the feet of the gods and saying, like, fucking do with me what you will. Whether it was sex, drugs and rock and roll, or, you know, fast cars or bikes or, you know, whatever it is, there'll be something that I think most of you have pushed to an extreme somewhere. And then on reflection, you kind of look back and you're like, oh, quite surprised I lived through that. Well, you know, you're supposed to be here. There's a job that you're supposed to do. You know, this is all that is being left behind for you. It's not the fun. It's not the excitement. It's not the thrill. It's not the, you know, the adrenaline seeking. It's none of that. It's what led you to pursue it in the first place, right? At the exclusion of everything else, most importantly. Because the underlying cause of that kind of behaviour is being healed, right? It's been revealed, it's been seen for what it is. And now these coping mechanisms, because basically Sagittarius, that's what it was a coping mechanism, are no longer relevant for you anymore, right? There are things that are more important for you. There are things that you now want to invest in. There are things that you want to be a part of. And running away from that, throwing yourself into the fucking void, basically, is not the way forwards for you anymore. The emotional attachment to that is gone. And instead has been replaced with this energy that we see coming in for you really, really strongly in June. We have the Knight of Cups. Now, yes, this is about, you know, giving your cup to somebody else. I feel like it's because there's movement here, you know, we've got that kind of notion of it going on. But there's an openness and a vulnerability that comes with it, which is really important for you, Sag. You know, you're actually really sensitive, and I can feel all of the other signs in the zodiac just falling over laughing when they hear that, because it doesn't come across very often that way. But that's that kind of attempting to be armor plated, you know, that, you know, nothing bothers me, I don't give a shit, that kind of thing. But actually you do give a shit. You don't give a shit because you do give a shit. And I feel like only Sagittarians will understand that sentence. There's an openness and a vulnerability now, right? There's a peace actually about you. Now, it could be that you have somebody new coming in. I mean, that's possible, but I actually don't feel like it's the case for most of you. For most of you, I feel like it is about building on the relationships that you already have, a deepening of the relationships that you have over the course of June. I think that you can expect a number of situations to kind of arise that really cause you to lean into what you have newly discovered about yourself, which is that you are sensitive and that you can be vulnerable and that you can be open, but more than that, that you have a lot that you want to give. You literally, it's here, take this. Like, trust is a huge part of this as well. You know, we've got this Two of Pentacles underneath here, and I mean, that could be a slightly dicey kind of energy, but it doesn't really feel like that to me. It feels like there's an acknowledgement that this is a work in progress, whereas it was always extremes. It was like start and finish and getting from A to B as quickly as possible, on or off, stop or go, right? Just always the extremes. This Two of Pentacles energy feels a bit more like it's suggesting to me that you know that things need time, they need consistency, and that you're willing to do it. It's something that you're willing to do. because you've got the very ocean at your back there, Sag, you know, and it's big. Again, we've talked a number of times in the last, I don't know, probably in the last year or so, I've been talking about the fact that you have depth, but you've been told for so long that you don't, or you've been made to feel so shallow that you actually haven't even noticed it about yourself. But it is something that is really coming to the fore for you, you know. Tell me about this Two of Pentacles, please. We've got the Knight of Wands, there it is right there. That's Two of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles. Ah, that's even more beautiful. Because here we have the 2 coins that you are juggling here at this point, right? We have the fun and the adventure and the thrill seeking, and that's always going to be part of your experience, Sagittarius. Like, life would be too fucking dull without it. But what we also have is this new burgeoning version of you that is responsible, that is dutiful, that is reliable, you know, because you want to be. That's the difference here. Not because you're told you must be, not because you're told that you're not, but actually because you found something really quite important to you and you want to be a part of it. You want to show up as the best possible version of you that you can. And the King of Pentacles is an amazing expression of that. But what was with this cheeky Knight of Wands kicking out the back, you know, you're not about to get old and boring. Rather, you are you plus responsibility. Right? Responsibility is now part of who you are. I mean, just come back to that Ten of Pentacles there, and even the Ten of Cups down here too. Right, there it is down there. What you have now is something that you want to hold on to for a long time. It feels like I don't want to say it feels like you've grown up, because I don't think that that's quite right. Because the capacity for this has always been there, but it's about the situation that you're in now. Something about that is really bringing this side of you to the surface. And possibly because it's not expected, right? It's not been demanded of you. It's not been something that you've been coerced into by people telling you that you can't do this, that and the other. Like, this is important to you. You want to do it, and you can do it. There's a million things that you found that you can do in this last 2 years that you were told over and over again that you couldn't do. It's been a voyage of self-discovery, and I feel like there's been shock at every point. You're like, fucking hell, I can do this. This isn't awful. And it's like, yeah, well, of course you could. Because we've got the Four of Wands, right? There's a new foundation that you're building here, Sagittarius, that is so important to you that it is worth putting aside this being your only expression of your energy, right? This kind of slightly shallow, definitely 2D kind of thing over here. Lots and lots of fun, but there's no longevity in it. Like, none, right? They're here today, gone tomorrow. Where is the fun at, you know? Here's the depth. Here's the planning. Here's the duty. Here's the responsibility, but it does not feel grim. It does not feel like it's oppressing you. Nobody's demanding this of you. You're bringing it to the table willingly so that you can bring this too, you know. And over the top of all of it is the Knight of Cups. There are feelings here that you are allowing yourself to express, and this feels stunning, right? It feels really stunning. Connection is really strong for you. Keep fucking doing what you're doing is what I would say here, Sagittarius. I mean, I'm going to leave it here, and we're going to have a look at June's particularly, because it feels to me like there's a number of, maybe a number of catalyzing events that are really bringing this into the forefront of your mind for you. I feel like there's almost an acknowledgement that this is something that you are doing now. Like, this is who you are now, and embracing it. So we're going to kind of dig into that a little bit in the extended. But this looks really good. It looks really, really good. That's what I was going to say. It's not about you growing up. It's about the situation that you are in being worthy of that side of you really coming to prominence. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. So, if you would like to join me over there and have a little look at that, that's all cool. Link is in the description box, or you can come over and join my community on Patreon. It's entirely up to you. But if not to worry at all. I'm so pleased for you, Sagittarius. I really am. It feels fundamental for you. It feels really profound. And I feel like it's making a lot of other things feel like they were worth experiencing to get to where you are now, you know? So, know that I love you all very, very much. And I will see you soon.